Alrighty, so today it is Thursday, December 10th? Thursday 11th? Anyway, it is the Thursday before December 13th Irving Nationals, and I have some food in me. I'm in a good mood. I got to get up this morning, and I needed a couple things, so we ran to the grocery store and picked those up, made it home, and chefed up our first 2 meals. So I've eaten twice now. I've got 2 or 3 hours before athlete check-ins happen at 3. But I have a final to take for school. Luckily it's online, so I can do that here. I'm staying not at my normal house, but rather at my parents' place because we live a lot closer to the venue. Goodness, I can't breathe. Whew. Sorry, heavier meal going down right now, but they live a bit closer to the venue, so I am staying here for the next couple days just out of convenience, so I don't have to drive back and forth between check-ins and my first coat of tan, second coat of tan, show day, whatever. And I kind of really wanted to talk about how I'm really thankful to be where I am right now. This semester and the last 6 months and really the last year have gone by like that since the Ronnie. I initially thought we were going to take a really long off season and grow to be super duper competitive, but my coach, Mr. Chow, he made the call and said we were going to take a really short kind of brief off season, and then I just prepped through the entire semester. Like, as soon as school started, I hopped into prep and I was working, and to be honest, there was a lot of pressure on me, but it was kind of internal pressure that I've come to realize. A lot of it was very internalized expectations that I was kind of putting on myself to perform as a student or as an athlete or as somebody within my different jobs that I was working. And taking a step back and kind of realizing how and why I felt the way that I did about different things really helped me kind of understand that a lot of the weight that I felt and a lot of discomfort or anxieties that I felt about the show or performing in school, a lot of them were extremely self-imposed. And because I wanted so badly to be the best ever at everything and never have to fall or never take a break or never slow down, I think those are the things that really jeopardized any progress that I was making or kind of made me struggle in any way, shape, or form. Back in early November, late October, I got really sick, and I think that was when school started to pick up, and I think I just pushed myself a little too hard as a student and as an athlete, and trying to juggle relations between friends and everything, really. And my immune system, I just don't think my body could handle everything I was throwing at it, and I got really sick. And the lesson that I wanted to take away from that is not to not try your best at everything, but rather, I think you should go as far as you can and overexert yourself to such a hard degree and set crazy, ridiculous, ambitious goals that nobody in their right mind would reasonably think you could accomplish. Because then, if you get even a 25th, a 10th, halfway to accomplishing this goal, you've already done something so remarkable. Like, at the start of the semester, at the start of the year, right after the Ronnie, I told myself, like, well, really, as soon as Ben told me that he thought we could do some damage, or like thought we could be competitive at this year's nationals, which felt like a really long time away back in May. But sitting now 2 or 3 days out, it's loomed on me. That's very close. Anyway, sitting and realizing how close this deadline is and feeling these self-imposed pressures that I had placed on myself. Initially, I was very, very worried, and I was very, very scared about doing everything and juggling everything and trying to be the best person I could to fulfill all my responsibilities and to be the best I could for I didn't want to give unequal attention to one area or another, whether that was prep or school or my family or friends, whatever. And what I learned instead, after getting horrifically sick, was that I think you should set these outrageous, unbelievable, super far-fetched, dumb goals, and just try to get as close as you can, because if you get even a quarter of the way there, you've done something so unbelievably remarkable in comparison to those of the people around you, I used to be the type to set extremely low goals for myself. I wanted to just graduate high school and, make it out. I was a B, C student in high school. I wasn't particularly remarkable. And I wanted more for myself, at least this last semester. After the successes I felt or experienced at the Ronnie, I really felt like I could do more, not just for myself, but for the people around me and every area of life, really. So I set a bunch of unbelievably far-fetched goals. I wanted to be pro by 21. I wanted to work 2 jobs through the semester, and I wanted to be a full-time student so I could finish my degree on time. So, as you can imagine, I've been very stressed with all these things. And like I said, back in October, I did get really sick, and all of that kind of came down on me, and I realized I couldn't handle or juggle all of that. But what it did teach me is where that line was. So maybe instead of working full-time, doing prep, and being a student, I could pull off a couple shifts, and instead of the 35, 40 hours a week I was working, I could do 20. I could keep my schooling the same, stay a full-time student, and I could still prioritize work, right? Or still prioritize working out, prep, and fitness. Or I guess now that we're about to go into an off-season, I could prioritize growing through the off-season and making real progress like that, and not have to worry so much about conditioning and lack of food. So that kind of tier or area of life becomes a little less stressful, less demanding, and then it gives me that much more leeway that I can put into either school. Maybe I could take another class, or work. Maybe I could take a couple more hours. And I can operate along that fine margin just before redlining and collapsing, so I can stay operating at my own maximum efficiency. And what I learned is that if you are doing the best in everything that you can, people around you really start to see that. And you don't necessarily get pity or handouts from people that see you working really hard, but what you do get, I think, is a sense of understanding from these people that, hey, this person is trying their best, this person is giving it what they can, and sometimes that's all you can really ask of someone. And if that is all you can ask of someone, why can't that be all you can ask of yourself? So I'm approaching this extremely optimistically. I do want to win, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't have prepped and done everything in my power to make this prep as focused and disciplined as possible if I didn't think there was a chance. But I guess we will find out on Saturday. The clips I have today, I have a push session and a leg session, both of which were from 2 weeks out. I'm going to shoot a full pull day today, now that I have some food in me and I've conditioned myself a little bit more. It's just that these last couple days and last week really have been extremely busy with finals. And as a student, I did kind of prioritize that over content and filmmaking and more leisurely activities, I guess, or how I would view them as leisurely activities, because as much as I love making YouTube videos, this is very much a passion project for me, and I would very much love to get to a point where I could do that and do it to a point where I could sustain myself or provide for myself or make some form of income through it. But as of right now, it is purely something I do as a passion project because I enjoy videography, cinematography, and I love getting to tell stories through my own lens. And sometimes that is a lens, and sometimes it's on a stage. Hopefully my rant wasn't the most annoying thing you've ever had to listen to. And I know I kind of bounced around and jumped around, but I'm a little flustered. There's a lot going on over the next couple days. I've got athlete check-ins, which will be in my next video. I'll probably put that one out within the next couple days. If not the day after tomorrow, if not on show day, then within that week, because I want to make like a full kind of peak week video. I'll combine them. It'll be a peak week video with training for back today, because today's the last session the last training session before we compete. I'm going to do some full day of eating style stuff with today and tomorrow being the peak week when I'm actually like eating a lot of food and not scraping the bottom of the bowl for a grain of rice. And then I'm going to film what I can backstage with some of the guys from Brutal Muscle. And then I do have something really exciting coming down the pipeline sometime next week. I can't say quite yet, but it'll be some good fun. Anywho, if you have stuck around this long and listened to me yap, I deeply appreciate you. I think I'm going to keep the video a little shorter, so I'm not going to splice it quite as much over workout clips. I'll let those run, or at the very least, I'll let one of them run all the way through, and I'll figure it out when I'm editing, but you'll see the end product, and if you're here, I'm deeply appreciative that you are. Much love, you guys.